Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andre Sigers, and this time we're joined by Derek Binder and Dash Paulson to discuss all the Smash Bros. Updates from this past week. So let's get started. Alright guys, this wasn't an amazing week, but it was a pretty good week. Especially because we had what might be a record amount of screenshots. I think it's 12 in total across all 5 days, which is kind of amazing. But Monday starts off with just a single screenshot being a new assist trophy in the form of Riki from, or however you say it. I think some people got on you, Derek, for how you pronounced it.
I think I called him Riki. Yeah, I think I called him Riki.
Is it, well, then it's Riki.
Yeah,
I think it's Riki then, I think. Whatever. From of course, Xenoblade Chronicles. And apparently he'll perform many arts, like Happy Happy, Resonate, and Yoink. And Sakurai goes on to comment that he sounds a bit like Tingle, but don't worry, this Tingle's back too.
Oh, good.
Thank God for that, right?
Thank God.
If we didn't know, I would not have bought this game. But Tingle's back, guys, so we're good.
I was so worried about Tingle, let me tell you.
Oh man, I think the collective internet was worried about Tingle.
Yeah.
So much. But yeah, what do you guys think about having this new assist trophy from Xenoblade joining Shulk here?
Riki's an interesting choice just because he's already appearing in Shulk's Final Smash. So to have him appear twice in the game is a little strange, especially since as soon as Shulk was announced or even just leaked or even just thought about, Ryan was the one that came up as a possible assist trophy just because of the meme status that guy's reached because of the whole it's Ryan time. So it sort of made sense that he would be the one to become the assist trophy, but instead it's Riki. But as an assist trophy himself, I think Riki is really cool. I like that he can actually heal you or actually do some damage, or who knows what Yoink does. I mean, in the game, it just steals health from opponents and gives it to you, but I guess you could apply the same thing. I don't know.
Maybe he takes your item or something?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it takes an item in the game. I don't know, but Riki has a lot of possibilities to him, which makes him a little bit more dynamic than what Ryan could have been, although Ryan still would have been really cool. But on the whole, I like the fact that Riki is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm straight up a little disappointed just because I really would have rather seen Ryan. I mean, Riki's fine, but he's already in Shulk's Final Smash with Dunban. I mean, I don't know. I just think it would have been a little more interesting to have a character who's not already in Shulk's Final Smash be a Xenoblade Assist Trophy. So,
I mean, there still could be more, though. We don't know.
That's true. There could be. That's true. But let's just assume that this is the only Xenoblade one. Then I'm a little disappointed. I also don't have a whole lot of existing love for Riki just because I haven't gotten that far in Xenoblade yet. I haven't actually met him in the game, so I'm not as attached to him as I am, characters I have already met, like, Dunban and Ryan and, Sharla and characters like that.
Yeah, it is, I mean, I'm fine either way. Like, I never played Xenoblade Chronicles, so this is literally the first I've seen of this guy. It is a little bit weird, though, that he does appear in Shulk's Final Smash and as an assist trophy, but I don't think there's a precedent for that.
I have seen some people suggest that maybe the characters that show up for Shulk's Final Smash will be different, and it will just rotate through all the available Xenoblade partners, which would be kind of cool to get all of them in there. But I think that's a little bit too much effort for just a single Final Smash. Even more so than like the Mega Man Final Smash where you have 5 lined up. This is a rotating cast of I think like 6 or 7. So I don't know. I just can't see that happening.
No, I don't either. I think it's going to be Dunban and Riki in his Final Smash every time.
Yeah, that could be. But one other cool detail about this update today or on Monday rather, is that assist trophies and Pokemon will now have a little indicator above them showing which character, which player activated them, which I think will be useful because in the times I've played, sometimes I wasn't sure if that was my Pokemon or not. So that's just a cool little detail, and that's actually something we've seen before with the boss character being the Yellow Devil, where he takes on the same the same indicator once you defeat him.
Right.
All right, moving on to Tuesday, we get a look at the AllStar Mode, or specifically one of the screenshots from the menu for AllStar Mode. So, Sakurai explains, in case you haven't played past Smash Brothers games, that it's a survival battle where you have limited recovery items and no option to continue. And so, yeah, you just go battle to battle, taking on multiple opponents in each one. And between them, you'll reach a rest area, which you can see in the second screenshot, and that's where you can recover your health using, as you mentioned, a couple of items that don't reappear. So you have to be careful when you use those. It's kind of strategic, going off past games. Yeah, so what do you guys think of having this mode return?
This is interesting on a lot of levels. I mean, it's nice to have All-Star Mode come back. And I think it's always fun that you fight, the characters in chronological order in terms of the year of their release.
Right.
But what's more interesting than this actually just being a screenshot of All-Star Mode is what this could possibly signify for the character roster. And of course, I know Derek is super sick of this conversation by now, but basically, as you all know who've been following us, the original leak came with a picture of the All-Star Mode, art with the padlock on it. And as Sakurai says in the commentary here, the padlock signifies that you have not unlocked every character there is to unlock yet. So this is not 100% confirmation whatsoever that the leaked roster, was not complete. It very well could be. But the screenshots that came out with the leaked roster did have a padlock on the All-Star Mode. So there could be a correlation, there could not be, but it is interesting. It's just putting it out there.
So you're saying that assuming the leak's picture was taken after you unlocked all the characters, or all the characters we know about from the leak, that there could be more beyond that. I guess the question is, was that picture taken at that point, or prior to him unlocking the characters we know about?
Yeah, basically, is the picture of the All-Star icon with the padlock, is it from the same save state or save file as the leaked roster? And because if it is, then there is more coming. But we can't verify that.
That'd be awesome if that's the case.
So it's just something to think about.
You're just praying for chorus kids.
I am. I will admit that. But also, it would be more fun in general, hype-wise, to think that, hey, there is still more we don't know about, even after we thought we knew the entire roster.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
No, I agree with that. I'm hoping for the same, honestly, just because, the surprises that I would like to have. As far as All-Star Mode being back, I mean, it's pretty much unchanged except for the whole year thing, which I find kind of cool in its own way. And we even got a little indicator of this back when Pac-Man was first revealed, because they had that whole year comparison with him and Game & Watch, and then Mario and Donkey Kong at the end of that trailer. So it's nice to see that actually did get brought back to a degree.
And that shows too here that Game & Watch won't be a starting character because he's not in the screenshot, and he should be.
Right. Yeah, he would be, because he's within this year, this time span seen on the picture.
Yep.
Yeah, so he would be at the same time as Pac-Man if once he gets unlocked, if the leak is true, which it seems to be. Otherwise, I mean, All-Star Mode's a fun mode. It can be incredibly challenging, just because of the high, you just got to really know how well you do against each type. And I'm curious whether, because it's unlocked from the beginning, if you'll unlock anything, like any trophies or anything like you usually do, or if it's just a sort of a side mode for now. I'm kind of curious about that myself. Otherwise, I just, glad to see it's back, and it's, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I feel like you will unlock trophies by beating All-Star Mode. So it's not Sakurai's style to give you something that serves absolutely no purpose in terms of reward. So I feel like you still will unlock like an alternate trophy for each character as you beat, All-Star Mode with them.
There is something I do not even wonder about, but something interesting about finding the characters in chronological order and how they've laid them out here. I mean, this is going to be a very front-loaded thing, right? You have like a bunch of characters from the 80s, a few from the 90s, and this is going to peter off into nothing about late 90s to 2000s, right?
Yeah.
I think Shulk, either Shulk or Wii Fit probably Shulk will be the last one in line.
Right. Yeah. You're right. It'll probably be like Rosalina, Wii Fit Trainer, and Shulk.
Greninja, too.
Greninja.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he'll be in there as
Greninja,
well.
Greninja will be the last, actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep, good one. Okay, moving on to Wednesday, we get a look at Samus's alternate costumes. In fact, we find out that every character this time will have 8 costumes instead of the 4 or 5 or 6 from Brawl. And I think that's pretty cool, especially because they are putting a lot of attention into these color schemes, not simply being just like a palette swap, or rather, not just being like a arbitrary palette swap.
Right.
So in this case, with Samus, the first 4 colors we see are based off her Various suit, Fusion suit, Gravity suit from Super Metroid, and the Dark suit. And then the next 4 are the Gravity suit from Metroid Prime, Green Samus, which is actually from the previous Smash Bros. Games, the Light suit, and Dark Samus. And then we also get a look at the 4 other forms of the Villager that we haven't yet seen. So I don't know. I think it's awesome having, even more choices.
This is probably my favorite update of the week, just because I am such a big Metroid fan. And it's so awesome that they reference so many different suits across the series, especially Dark Samus. That's something a lot of people requested, and we've already seen Dark Samus appear as an assist trophy, so it's really cool that Samus I think that made a lot of people worried. It's like, okay, is she going to get that as a suit now? And no, she totally is, and it looks awesome. I mean, there's a lot of really good-looking suits in this whole set, and makes me just incredibly excited to see what others there are for all the different characters.
What else is cool is, just real quick, I remember before we pointed out the light suit, but some people took issue with that, being like, that's not the light suit. Well, now we know it is.
Right.
So take that, people.
No, of course, I mean, the color, it's the color scheme of the light suit. It's not the actual light suit, but I mean... You know, I think that's
yeah,
it's based on it, and it looks awesome. I mean, and like you said, Derek, Dark Samus is looking really cool. I mean, if we can't actually get Dark Samus playable, which I know a lot of Metroid fans wanted it to be, I'd say this is the next best thing, along with having her as an assist trophy, or it as an assist trophy, because this looks really cool. I just want to point out that for the villagers, the villager on the left, you can tell he has seen some shit, can't you? Like, he has been through, or she has been through some tough times in her life. Look at those eyes.
She has been. Yeah. I think she did.
They kind of look like a gang, don't they?
I think she just saw the last update for this week, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right. Well, moving on to Thursday, we get another look at Smash Run, which is a statement I feel like I said a lot of times throughout these discussions.
Yeah.
This time, though, we get we find out about one of the final battles, or another one of the final battles that concludes Smash Run. This time called Run. And as Sakurai cheekily notes, as you'd expect, it involves you dashing toward the finish line. So it's a race, which means that in this case, you know, having more speed power-ups are going to give you a big advantage. I imagine particularly if you're already a fast character like Sonic or something, or Captain Falcon, say. Now, in the second picture, though, he also provides insight on a new type of barrier or obstacle that we've seen before, but we didn't pay any attention, really. And that's these, like, red, jagged, sharp things, where if you touch them, it'll respawn you earlier in the stage. So basically, you don't want to touch them. And then, finally, we get a look at Climb as well, which is something we've seen before. We just try to climb a tower.
Well, it's kind of funny that they had that overview trailer that they released on the Japanese website, or the Japanese YouTube account, that showed off just a little section of this, and Chris picked up on it and pointed out, it was like, oh, we might get a gourmet race type thing. So I think it's really cool. It's nice to see some variations where each stat you collect, you really do have to collect all the stats, because you don't know which one's going to be at the end. You might go for all strength, and all of a sudden it's, hey, we're having a race. Crap. I really do love that element where you don't know what you're going to get at the end. You have to collect everything.
It's true, and that also brings up one of my problems with this. And sorry, Ash, if you had something to say.
No, it's okay.
But like Kirby Air Ride, I love that game. I love, specifically City Trial, I love it. But one of my problems with that game is the fact that there is just one final challenge at the end. So it really does often feel just like a complete waste of most of your stats. Like, in one of them, like, if you just fly far, you know, it renders, like, a lot of them just useless. And I actually wish what they would do is have, like, a random, like, have a couple matches, you know, that are random. So, you know, it's still not, you know, it's still random based on, you know, which attributes you found, how well you'll perform. But so it's not just so specific to, like, a specific stat. Whereas in this case, like, if you don't have the speed stat, you're probably going to be screwed.
Yeah, I completely agree, and actually that kind of speaks to one of my larger concerns about Smash Run. I mean, it is fun. I do enjoy it based on what I played of it at various shows. But the problem to me is that you spend 5 minutes in this mode raising your stats and getting power-ups and everything, and then the end battle
like
is only
2 minutes.
1 minute.
Yeah, or 1 minute, yeah.
It's 1 minute. Now, I don't know if that's set that way, you know, for people at trade shows to be able to play and cycle through, or not. But if it really is just a 1 minute battle at the end and you can't change that, that seems kind of like a waste to me.
Yeah, actually that gets more to my point. I've had this problem before with Kirby Air Ride, and it didn't come to me exactly right now. But yeah, like in Kirby Air Ride, you can adjust the time too to be in city modes. I always set it to 7 minutes up from 5. I just love that mode. But yeah, you spend 7 minutes building up your character, and then you blow through it in like 30-second challenges, or in this case, a minute challenge. It does seem a little bit lopsided. You spend all this time building up your character only to blow it in like no time at all.
Yeah. I know. I do hope that there's like a menu where you can set, you know, Smash Run options, such as, hey, let's have 3 matches after this Smash Run of 3 random matches, 1 climb, 1 run, and a regular and a flower smash or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool, right?
Yeah, no, it totally would be. But I do have to say, I do like the idea of the danger zones. I like that it kind of there's like a dichotomy there where the fastest characters have the most obvious advantage for like run, but you know, with the danger zones, they're also going to be the first to hit the danger zones. So, you know, the person lagging behind Sakurai notes that danger zones disappear after someone triggers them. So the person lagging behind might actually get to overtake them if the faster characters aren't careful.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, maybe these are better balanced than may seem at first glance.
We've seen in the past that Smash Brothers can get incredibly customizable, so I wouldn't be surprised if those options are available, at least to some degree. And I still really like the idea of this. I think it is properly balanced with these traps and stuff that they can, send you backwards, because we've seen how quick these characters moves once we get your speed stat up in Smash Run. So imagine trying to control them while going through what looks to be some pretty thin hallways. Plus, I wonder if you'll actually be able to attack each other during this mode, which would also cause another kind of variation to it. So there's a lot of unknowns here, but I overall, Smash Run is something I'm not particularly super excited for, but it is something I really do want to try out and see if it'll hook me.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel. Kirby Air Ride, I don't think I cared about City Trial when it came out, and it turned out to be my favorite part of that game. So yeah, who knows? Maybe this will be like the sleeper hit of Smash Brothers. All right, well, moving on to Friday, we get another look at more menus. Yay! Woo! Ash's favorite, especially. I know.
I'm so excited.
Right?
Well, I mean, look, I love menus, but this is like the most phoned-in pick of the day update yet, and then we're a week out from the Japanese release. It's just strange. It's funny.
Oh, because didn't we already get a look at the front menu for 3DS Smash? We did, right? Like this main image we've already seen before.
Yeah, we've seen this. Yeah, which is really... I guess we haven't seen the bottom Smash Run, the Games and More image, yeah.
Right, that's true.
We haven't seen that, but still, we have seen the main menu before.
And that is what he explores with the two other picture updates he provides for today, where if you click on the Games and More option, we can see that several other options become available, being solo, group, custom, the vault, where presumably you'll gain access to like looking at trophies and stuff, like in Brawl, I believe, and options. And if you click on solo, we can see even more options that become available, being classic mode, all-star, stadium, and training. So to me, it's interesting just to see how they've laid this out differently from Brawl, even. Because in Brawl, like right away you choose multiplayer or single player, and they've gone a completely different way this time.
I'm going to say that my knee-jerk reaction is I actually do like how it's organized more in Brawl. Of course, once I play around with this in person a little, I might feel differently. But just looking at these screenshots, I kind of feel like the way everything's organized in Brawl makes a little more sense. It's a little more intuitive, but again, that's just based on my being used to Brawl over years and years and not having gotten the retail copy of Smash 4 yet, so...
Yeah, I mean, that could be the case. I mean, I kind of agree from, a default perspective, but I'm sure once we get used to this, it'll be fine as well.
I love the menu designs, though. I mean, again, Sakurai's wife is, in her finest form here. I mean, Sakurai's games continue to have amazing-looking menus.
I agree, it looks good. I'm not sure it's, like, the pinnacle. I don't know. The main one's the one that rubs in the wrong way. It doesn't, nothing, quite lines up right. It's mostly the circles, the online screwing things up for me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It looks okay to me, but I do agree that it's not the best menus we've seen in a Sakurai game.
Also,
I'd say that would still be maybe Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fact that they're not on the touchscreen here, which means you can't move them around, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's also something, too, in the Wii U version, and it could just be in the demos we played, but the C-Stick doesn't move the character, doesn't tilt the whole menu anymore.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they've got to bring that back.
I know.
That's just in the demo.
That's what I'm hoping to, right?
Yeah.
But... will the 3DS one have that? Because it doesn't have a C-Stick, but it does now too, kind of, right?
It does, but probably, and if anything, that's something they would add down the road. But that's too bad, because I would like to see that come back, especially in the 3DS version, because of the 3D. But my guess is that it's just not going to be there.
Yeah, I guess not. Alright, well I think that wraps up our Smash Brothers discussion this week, so thanks guys for watching. If you liked our discussion, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, which you can find links to in the description below. It's a good way to keep up to date with everything we post. And of course, keep an eye on GameXplain.com for much more on Smash Brothers 3DS and Wii U, probably pretty soon, because that game comes out in not too long in Japan, and other things gaming as well. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.